Wow, good evening, everybody. Facebook is telling me that a few of you are here and online, and it's telling me you can hear me. Hopefully that's true. Welcome to anyone that is joining in. You can see we're gathering everybody. My name is Ginger Williams, and I am the lead art director at Queen & Company, and I am excited. It's been 3 weeks since I was able to spend an evening with you, and let's see if I can give you all a little wave as we wait for everyone to gather. I'm here at my desk. Hi, everyone. And working on my laptop as I stream all of the various parts of tonight's event. And I'm pulling up my iPad so I can keep track of all of your comments. If I can pull up the live chat. So if you're here, please drop where you're watching from tonight into the comments. There they are. Oh, okay. Everyone's already doing that. You beat me to it. Okay. So I see Anne was the first to say hi. Hello, Anne. Deanna, Ruth, Karen, Carolyn, Kelly, Kathy, Deb, Wendy's here, Angel's here. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad that you're joining us. We have a lot to go through tonight. As you've probably seen on our website, we are introducing a wonderful, fun set of brand new flower-themed products. You can see a few of my samples here on my desk. And so let me just kind of give you the overview of what we will be doing. We've got a new shape shaker set that is called Flowering Frames. I'm going to be going through and giving you all the details of what's in that kit and giving you some great ideas and examples of how it can be used, as well as going through our brand new foundation set number 34. And then, which is awesome, and you'll love it, especially if you liked 33. And then also our two new specialty foundations, our Wildflower foundations. We've got blooms and we've got stems and greenery, two new sets. So that's what we're doing tonight. So if you're excited to learn more about that, then you are in the right spot. You're also in the right spot to learn about our discount. If you're interested in buying our bundle tonight, you can save $30 off the bundle with code SAVE30. So as we go through it all tonight and you decide you want it all, by all means, pick it up with a nice discount, which is actually a really big discount. Thank you, Wendy, for that. I see a whole bunch more of you logging on. Kathleen, thanks for confirming that you can see me and hear me. Wonderful. All right, well, let's go ahead and dig right in. First up, let's talk about our new shaped shaker kit. This is an overview of what's in the Wildflower, or excuse me, let me take that back. Flowering Frames shape shaker. A lot of flower names I got to try to get right tonight. May go well, might not. You let me know. Kathy, you were asking a question about the bundle. $30 off of the bundle, yes, which really is kind of like getting either the flowering frames or the new foundation set almost for free, or at least for like $10. So definitely worth it if you're interested in even just two of the things happening, or two or three of the things happening tonight. Might as well get the bundle and get them all if you can, with that nice discount. Okay, so let's talk about what comes in this kit just for a minute. Let me show it to you live. So you see the picture here, but let's go to my desk where I can pull it up and you can see exactly what it looks like. I like to see photos and video when I'm getting ready to purchase something, because the video just gives you a better look at what size things are, how things relate to each other, just a better feel for things. So let me show you how I keep my shape shakers. And in case you didn't know, a shape shaker is different than our full kits in that it doesn't usually come with a paper pad, and it usually does not come with a full-size 4x6 stamp set, although we've made an exception. This one does, and I'll show you that in a minute. Also, usually the outline die is separate. However, since this has only one square shape in it, your outline die is actually included. So if you're a fan of our outline dies, it's actually included and you do not need to make it a separate purchase. But let me show you the basics of this kit. I love flowers. I'm sure you've noticed if you've been a Queen & Company fan for a while. Flowers are one of my favorite ways to add embellishments to cards. And I especially love layered flowers, and you'll see that later tonight as we talk about some of our other sets. But sometimes it just takes a while to die cut several different layers of a flower and put them together. And if you've seen me create, you know that I like to put foam tape in between. It just takes time. So the idea behind this kit was a much faster way to be able to add beautiful, fun, striking florals onto your cards as a shaker without it taking quite that amount of time. And so as you can see, you have 4 choices in floral frames And they're just different single line floral sketch, like line art. Really pretty though. And if you die cut them out, you get something kind of like the navy blue here, not the frame, but just the flowers here. And you can see that it has beautiful open spaces, and you can leave them just like that. If you want to, let's see, where's an example? Here's one. If you want to leave it just as is, you certainly can, and that's fast, right? But of course, here at Queen & Company, we like to make sure that you have plenty of options. And so beyond the flowers, to decorate them, you have a couple of things. One is you have 3 awesome frames, just for a different look, that can then go around your flowers in such a way that this white, or in this case white, it depends on what color you cut your cardstock out of, but this part is actually going to be hidden by the frame. It's just there to help hold your flowers together so that it's all cut from one piece and it's easy to get onto your shaker. This white part frame is really just more for convenience sake. But this is so you can decorate it, make it pretty into whatever color cardstock or pattern paper you want. And then one other optional but very fun part can be these pieces here, and they're kind of scattered in my little container, but you have a full set of little flower pieces and little dot pieces, dies, that are then used to then go behind the various pieces of your flowers if you should desire. You can see I did that here on this sample card here. So I cut out the little extra pieces and the little dots that can be used as an optional way to just add additional color, or especially like it as a little pop of color. And we're going to play with different ways to add that pop of color. I'll show you what the design team did as well. But there's lots of fun dies in this kit that make it so that you can pretty easily customize the look. You can go pretty and simple, or you can take it up a notch. But either way, it's going to be a lot faster than die cutting and layering a bunch of flowers like we will do with our Wildflower foundations. So some options: easy flowers, little more intricate flowers, all beautiful, all fun, all great ways to be able to send awesome flower cards. So let me show you some of the other things that come in the kit to help you. Let's transition back over to some photos. So you can see here you've got your dies I just talked about. And of course you get 3 pieces of foam, and each one has 4 of your frames. And so you should have 12 total pieces of foam shakers and 12 acetate pieces. Oh, and I didn't show you the stamp set. Let's take a closer look at that real fast. It has a wonderful and large, for our shape shaker sets, stamp set. Let me put some paper behind it. As you can see, I've been using mine. Let's go through the sentiments real fast. You've been on my mind. You are so thoughtful. Wishing you everything wonderful. No rain, no flowers. No, for my friend. Hope these flowers make you smile. Sending love from all of us. Just a little note. Congrats. So happy for you. Wishes for a beautiful birthday. Hello, you brighten my day. I'm so sorry. Missing you. Sending happy thoughts. Wishing you every beautiful thing. So just kind of an all-around general sentiment set. Nothing super specific. Most of our kits have a general set of things that can go for many different occasions. This one does too, but it's one of our more general ones. Not so many puns, just more of a nice set of sentiments that can be used really on almost with any of our kits, on almost any card, just to help keep this super versatile. Okay. Now, back to the other screen where I can show you the guides that will help you with the kit. So here is the die guide for this kit. And here you can see a little better how I've laid out for you exactly what dies will be used and where they can be used with the 4 different flower frames. And so you can see the one I was showing you on my card sample is this one down here, and it shows you exactly which dies you need and where they would go. So that's the die guide for this one. It's pretty simple, but it does give you lots of options. And here's another look at how that could come together with our 3 different frame types. I really love this one. It has some really fun, it has our usual stitch marks around the edge, but it also has some additional stitch marks just to add some extra interest to it. This one's a great way to be able to add that fun scallop look. And then this one's just a little more simple, a basic frame. So some really nice options in the frames, some nice options for your line art for your flowers, and then some other nice options should you choose to add that little pop of color you can do that too. So that is the Flowering Frames kit and everything that comes in it. Let's look at some design team samples. Marianne, I just think she does the most stunning things with bright colors, especially yellow. Almost every time she makes a card out of yellow, it's one of my favorites, and this one's no exception. Here you can see that she's pulled in some of our previous flower foundations, but this one here is the Flowering Frames kit, just like I showed you. And she's done a beautiful job taking the flowers and turning them into daisies, you know, and color choice, of course, is everything, right? It's a super versatile kit, and she even cut a few of the stems from a different colored paper. She wanted to make it a little bit multicolored. So awesome, very fun. Okay, and from Greta. So look, she did it's the kind of same thing that Marianne did. Instead of just leaving the die cut into one, she also cut out a different color for some of her flowers for on top and behind. So she added that little extra work there too, just to help the flowers stand out in different colors. So you can do that if you like to. It's really cute. And you'll see, you know, we're getting ahead of ourselves a tiny bit with our design team samples. They were great at pulling in Foundation 34, as well as some of our new Wildflower foundations. So as you watch through these, you can kind of get a peek at what we're going to talk about next. Okay. From Linda, isn't this color combination beautiful? And I do believe we have a lot of this paper pad in stock. This is the Blossom Bouquet paper pad that was released just a short while ago with our Endless Sympathy kit. So you may already have it, but if you are looking for a paper pad that looks amazing with the Flowering Frames kit, I recommend you look and see if you can find Blossom Bouquet. It's really, really pretty with this set. And you can see again a little peek at some of the foundations we're going to talk about here in a bit, and some of the also new pearls embellishments that come in a line. They're connected by a glue strip that then you can trim to what size you want. And Linda did a great job adding them to this card here in her pretty purple colors. So pretty, I love it. Okay, this one here is from me. It's the one you were just looking at, so we won't go spend too much time there. Just want to point out, yep, again, we have Foundation 34 peeking its way through here. And let's see here. From Linda again, you can see she took a beautiful classic look of the line art with the black, and then she did add that pop of color behind and on top of these little pieces here. I love how she even added a little dot right here. I don't think that's even in the die guide. That was just her own fun interpretation of how to up it, the ante, just a little bit more. And really pretty. She's got some of these flowers here. These are actually not from the, I'm going to say it right here, from the new Wildflower Foundations. These are actually from Foundation 34. And I'll get a close-up look at that momentarily. I'm going to check your comments too to make sure I can find it. Oh yeah, so Wendy says it's not sold out. Just wait for a minute. She's adding inventory at the moment. So, and Pamela, you asked, have you thought of offering a firefighter kit or other community helpers? Oh goodness, are you going to love our sneak peek tonight, Pamela? Okay. So from Marianne, another great twist with bright colors. I love how she's got all these different bright colors inside of her shaker. And then just like we just looked at with, was that Greta, I think? She also cut those flowers out of different colors too with her frame die. So really, really pretty. Love the embossed background too. One of my favorite things is an embossed background. And that blue looks stunning here. So from Marianne, she's gone and just kept it real simple with not doing a shaker this time. But she has kept the simple line art just in black, which I think you'll see quite a bit of from the designers as we go through. And actually one of my sample cards we're going to make together tonight. Black just is really pretty with this line art. You know, you can see how thin and just delicate it is. And it does look really great in a bold color like black or hot pink or something like that. And of course, quite a bit of close-up at our new Wildflower Foundations and our greenery and blue, well, both sets here. All right, fabulous. Okay, and from Greta, this one's so pretty. You are so thoughtful. And doesn't that look so perfect with these bright, cheerful colors? I love how she's pulled in all of that pretty yellow and added the little yellow accents. And I think, trying to decide if she actually added something that almost looks pearlescent. I wonder if she added more like a gold puff paint or something. We'll have to ask her and see. But it's really pretty, and I love the little bits of pearls on here too. Look almost like little unopened blossoms. All right, and from Linda, she also went with some yellow to her theme, yellow in kind of a aqua or a teal. And she actually cut her flowers out of the white, which looks really classy. Love that. And I love her little bouquet that she made out of one of the stems, greenery and stems dies. Really pretty there. And I love that she put a bow on it. Beautiful job, Linda. And Marianne here helping us try to channel a little bit of fall, perhaps. Love her pretty fall, jewel tones here with the yellows and the browns and the oranges. It's still way too hot to feel like fall here, but at least we're getting lots of rain here in Texas, so that's helping a little bit with cooling things down. But it's going to be another month or two before it feels much like fall. So in the meantime, I'm just going to keep looking at Marianne's pretty card. She's got these great fall colors going on in her shaker assortment behind her flowers too. And again, she's pulled in from Foundation 34 that I'll show you next. But yeah, those flowers are from 34. All right, so let's talk about 34. 34 is our newest addition to our foundation sets. And I think we debated about releasing this with the last set, but we wanted to make sure we could, we're going to keep adding to these. We love our foundation sets. Whenever we have a thought of, oh, this is going to be something we need, then we add it to the next possible foundation set. And this set was born from that too. If you remember in 33, if you watched our release 3 weeks ago, we have these wonderful curved pieces that fit across an A2 card in the long side, the 5.5-inch side. Well, of course, it wasn't enough to just do it on the long side. After playing with those, we knew we needed them on the short side as well. So here is your wave and your curve border pieces now in 4.25. And then also some great new focal point pieces that are different than anything we've done before. We love, love, love this beautiful, fun, extra fancy frame here, or extra fancy, it looks like a frame to me. It reminds me of like a fancy mirror or something that you'd see like Hobby Lobby or something like that. But then you have this kind of oval piece, which we've done ovals before, but this one's fatter. Because sometimes you've got a shaker or you've got an embellishment or a title that the narrow oval, it doesn't quite support it visually the way that you need. So I felt like we needed a fatter oval in our set. And so here we go, 34, fatter oval. And then this one is a really fun one. Instead of having it be like a pillow rectangle on all 4 sides, it just has the top and the bottom are rounded. Just another great fun focal point piece in a new size, just giving you lots of space to add these nice large shakers or any other focal point. And of course, some flowers that we haven't done before. These ones here are nice complements to what we're going to show you in our Wildflower Foundations, but a little different. They don't have some of the cut. On our new foundations, our flower foundations that I'm about to show you, our Wildflower Foundations, you'll see some of the new details that we've added. These are more traditional. They're much like our regular foundations with the usual stitch marks. But you can see these ones are a little more free-flowing, whereas most of them in our foundations are symmetrical. So kind of a nice nod to what we have coming. And then, of course, some new in different sizes, sentiment strips or decorative elements. This one makes a great sentiment strip for a long, skinny sentiment, but it also makes a great little border on things, just a new size for that. And with rounded edges, of course. Here is a look at some of our new sketches coming out for Foundation Set 34. You can see there's lots of fun ways to use just Foundation 34 all by itself, should you choose. And of course, it mixes and matches perfectly with all of our other foundation sets and our specialty foundation sets. It's just another fun new set of options for your card making. And the sketches are a lot of fun. I can't wait to do this one. I love the idea of using that little sentiment piece with different pattern papers as a border. I can't wait to try that. I need to get a chance to pull that out and do that soon. All right, looking at questions real fast before we look at samples. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, let me go back and let's look at them in person just so you can see the size a little better. Let's move these out of the way. And thank you, Wendy. Looks like Wendy's answering most of your questions. And yes, the release is going much, much better this time. Nice when the store doesn't go down in the middle of release night, right? Okay, so there's a better look with my hand for scale onto these foundation pieces. You can see what a great, fun size that is. And you already saw a look at it from some of our designer sample cards. So that's just a fun, just adds a lot of elegance and prettiness to a card. But now you can see kind of how small enlarged these particular flower dies are. You've got these, and they are kind of meant to layer really pretty, which you've seen some of our designers do too. So these fun little ones layer, much like our foundation, Wildflower Foundations we're about to show you. So there's a look at those. Nothing terribly long to show you, but but a good look at the possibilities there. Another thing I love about those wavy dies, both in the 5.5 as well as these new 4.5-inch sizes, is that is that they look great when you cut multiples of different type of papers. So another thing I'm excited about is getting those cut in all different papers. All right, so let's talk about. I was going to show you samples first, but because they're kind of all mixed together now from now on, like they're really mixed together, I pulled out all of the flowering frame samples from the design team, but now our foundations and our Wildflower foundations are kind of mixed together. So let's talk about the Wildflower foundations, and then we'll do samples. I think that will work a little better. All right. So here is an example of what you could do with our see if I can say it right. Wildflower foundations. The blooms, which is mostly these larger flowers or even some of the smaller flowers. Mostly it's these flowers that are straight, like head on, like you're looking at them as if you're above them. And then you have the Stems and Greenery set, which is all of these leaves and fun little ferns and little picks, I would call, almost like if you're making a bouquet or whatever, you have a little pick. You've got these small little flowers on the greenery stems. So if you're looking at it and it looks like it's a flower you're viewing from the side, like this one, or these fun little dots here, this one here, this one here. This is an awesome, really fun one, little unopened buds. So anything that you see that looks almost like it's coming at you from the side, or it's leaves and greenery, those are in the greenery and stems foundation, and the others are in the blooms. Right now they're only being sold together. Perhaps someday we'll actually sell them separately, but for right now they're only available together. Yes, and they are not sold out. They just hit the website. If you can't see it loading, please hit that F5 and refresh, do a hard refresh. Looks like they're just being loaded in now. They are not sold out yet. Okay, so this is like an idea sheet, right? This is actually in I think it's in the kit, or that it'll be posted online. I'm not sure which one we're doing. I'll have to ask Wendy that one. But this is just one way you could layer them. As I'll show you in just a minute, there's all kinds of ways that you can layer them. But I have given you kind of this layering idea guide. And I didn't put the pluses and equals and all that stuff because it's a little more loose than a lot of our other die guides. These are just how I kind of envision them possibly coming together, but there's lots of ways to put them together. And so this is more just an idea guide. But I'll show you in just a minute on all the samples and things and on some of the ones that we're going to make together. You can totally do it opposite of this. You can layer them however you like. But here is a good way to get started. Here is a look at the idea guide for the greenery and stems. You can see some of them are just greenery, and those are here. You've got all your different little vines and ferns and leaves of all different kinds and shapes. And then here, you've got your stems, and these are a little bit more like, this is probably how you should, attempt putting them together. Of course, you can break the rules, but these ones are not quite as easy to mix and match. They have a little bit more intention behind them. For example, you've got these fun little stamen dies, and of course you can use them in more than one place, which it shows you in the guide. But then, for example, this one here has two pieces that are layered along with this center piece, which is layered. And that kind of gives you that side view with a little bit of the center of your kind of almost like a little poppy flower coming out. And I just really felt this was something we really needed. We've had all kinds of fun flower foundations, but we don't have a whole lot for these really pretty picks and little fun, ferns. And we needed more flowers from the side. And so you've really got a nice assortment here of little things that really add to the bouquet look of all of the different flower foundations. So let me show you what they look like in person. Let's move over to my desk. And I want to show you some of the detail on these, which you're probably noticing in the art I've showed you, but I want to show you in person. Okay, so this is one of the larger dies, this flower die, and it has these wonderful little marks in it that I hand drew. Every last one of the little marks in there I drew by hand myself. and they are not embossed. They are actual cut marks. And so when you are putting together your flowers or your stems, you can see that it actually cuts all the way down through the paper. So if I were to actually pull it, you could see that, yeah, they do actually come apart. And I chose to do that as opposed to embossing because honestly, it looks like it's embossed, but it's deeper and it's more noticeable and it just gives more detail. The embossing can look nice. I definitely love it, and we definitely do it on some of our products. But this time we tried something different, and I think you will love how it comes together. So here's the bloom set. You can see it's a huge number of dies. And thankfully you've got those die guides to show you how some of these come together, because you do have some of these fun center pieces, and then you've got a corresponding circle that goes with them to layer behind them, because it does cut out all those little holes. And then if you want to have a different color or a coordinating pattern or something behind it, you can do that. So lots of fun, lots of different sizes, lots of unique things. And I love all the little holes. The holes just make it look so much more like a realistic flower in a way, almost as if that center of your flower, yeah, it just gives it that much more detail and texture and interest. And then for extra texture and interest, of course, our leaves and stem set is full of all kinds of fun stuff. Aren't those little flowers just fun? So you can cut them all out at once, and then I use my little wax tip pen to be able to take the little dot. Well, first I dot my little bits of glue onto the stem, and I pick up those little flowers and just add them on there real fast. Doesn't take as long as it might sound. And then of course you've got these other fun little flowers that match up with their various stem pieces. So you can see here's your stem piece, which you cut, and then you cut out your little flowers here, and then these actually just get adhered actually with the greenery on top of your flower, because again, we're viewing from the side. So fun new addition, a different look for Queen Company, something we haven't tried before, but really adds a lot to a card. And let's see, here's a fun little look at how fun it is to have contrasting colors. It's awesome to take one of our paper pads where I've already done all of the work of coordinating colors for you, and you can either go to the tone-on-tone patterns that are in the paper pad, or if you have some of our older paper pads where we were doing solids, you've already got all that color all coordinated for you. So lots of fun. The paper pad I used here, oh, it's an older one. Let me remember what it's called real fast. It is called, yeah, Sending Love. So I don't think it's available on the website at the moment, but if you bought stuff from, I think, okay, we launched this in 2020 or 2021, you may still have it in your stash from then. If not, a very similar but very pretty option is the Blossom Bouquet papers. Really great option, similar idea, similar color scheme. And look for that. I think also another one, as long as we're talking about paper pads that would look good with this, I believe this one's available. Fancy Flowers, that's an awesome one for this. So look and see if you can find that, if you're looking for a paper pad to go with it, since again, our specialty kits have paper pads, but our, where is it here? Our Shape Shaker kits do not. So if you were looking for a paper pad to add, that's a good option. Or those are good options, I should say. Okay, let's look at some samples of these. That's the best part, is seeing what everyone made with them. And Marianne, of course, never disappoints with a bold, stunning color scheme, along with some fun black background in there. The classic Marianne look, and it's gorgeous, right? Get the fun flowers from 34. She's got that wavy border from 34. She's got this fun, almost, I want to say pillowcase, but that's like only if you're thinking of the type of pillowcase containers. But this fun little rounded edge rectangle here. And of course, she stamped her sentiment on one of the new sentiment pieces from 34. I was just showing you this live. Here is a look at one, all the different ways I layered them, which is different than in the die guide. Certainly you can pull them together and layer all those flower pieces in different ways. What I did is I took my different colors of paper, and I took all the flower dies I wanted to use, and I cut them all at once out of the same paper. So I did a whole bunch out of blue. I did a whole bunch out of the light blue, a whole bunch out of the pink, a whole bunch out of the dark pink. And then I just started mixing and matching, right? And it was really easy to do because I'd cut them out of those 4 colors. And of course, it made a lot of flowers too. So in no time, I had all the flowers that I needed for a bunch of cards. Okay, from Greta. Isn't this a lovely color scheme? This pretty, almost coral pink color. I love it. Wishing you every beautiful thing. And I love how she made more of a garden scene. She took all of those flowers that are in the Stems and Greenery set, except for I think these little ones I think are from the Bloom set. But that way you have all these wonderful flowers from a side view, which is a great way to make a little garden scene. Gorgeous. And Marianne, again, with her bright colors. So she cut from all different kind of rainbow scheme. So you can see she's almost got her full rainbow here. I know she does. Yep. Pink, red, orange, green, purple, blue, yellow. Yep. So all her pretty colors all around her circle there. Fun little arrangement and very unique. And from Linda, there she is going using the new Blossom Bouquet paper pad. So you can see if you liked the bright or the coordinating colors of what was it, Sending You Love? You can see how beautiful this Blossom Bouquet comes together in the same idea. Really great coordinating colors, some really fun papers to go behind your bouquet. Great way to pull together cards in a flash with that particular paper pad. And I love her dark centers on these. Isn't that fun? You can see how much that background comes through if you cut from very different contrasting papers. How fun the centers of those flowers turn out. Really, really lovely. And from Greta, she also went with a daisy card, or a daisy kind of light card. But I love that she again stuck again with just the greenery set and didn't pull in the blossoms. This is all just from the Greenery and Stems Foundation. Another one from me, just showing that of course you don't have to cover the whole card. Just pull a simple corner piece together out of some of your layered pieces. And you can see here these fun stems and pieces from the Stems and Greenery mixed in with the blooms. Really fun. And I love that you get all these fun sizes, including these little ones. Really cute. Along with some of these are our matte epoxy dots. And Linda, she kind of channeled our release from last time. Looks like she's using the cookies from our Christmas cookies set released 3 weeks ago. And she made her own little set of beautiful cookies that are not Christmas themed. These would be pretty for a birthday or a baby shower or all kinds of beautiful stuff. So love that. What a creative idea. And Marianne, again, channeling these beautiful colors, bright colors, fall colors. Would you say they're fall colors? Possibly turning into fall or summer, with a great piece of pattern paper behind them, and then just really letting them just be free and wild on her card. Isn't it gorgeous? Lovely, lovely. Okay. And this one, I wanted to show that you can easily create like a little swag on top of any large foundation piece. I, of course, use the new ones from 34 since that's what we're introducing this week. But almost any of our large rectangles or ovals or whatever would be a great home base for a little swag. And just a little aside about me, in college, my degree was not in anything related to my current job. My degree was in child development. But I had enough room in my schedule to take some extra classes, and so I took a whole bunch of floral design classes, actually. I practically minored in floral design. And so I really went to town and had lots of fun with this particular set because it let me kind of channel some of the things I learned in floral design. So should you be interested in creating a swag, or I do a lot of like corsages. My boys would take dates to homecoming or to prom. I would use those same principles I learned in my floral design classes to create the girls their little corsages. And you can see what I would call almost like an S-curve running throughout this little swag. So if you follow the way that it moves across the center point, you can kind of see that little movement of S's or curves into kind of almost like mirror image items. And that's a great way to create a little swag. So if you're want to channel your inner florist, you can look for those little patterns in a lot of our, it's not just me, plenty of our other artists here, design team members did something similar tonight. But if you want to create a little bit of a swag, do a little bit of a mirror image, cut your swag in half and kind of mirror image it across your card, and you can have a really beautiful proportion little swag for a home base for your sentiment or a shaker or anything you want to add to it. Okay, so from Greta, hope these flowers make you smile. They certainly do. Isn't that a beautiful color scheme? I love all that purple. I believe she is also pulling in papers from the Blossom Bouquet pad. And I love that she kept it on the warmer side by using the papers in that set that are from the warm side of purple. We don't do that often enough, but it turned out lovely. And then here's Linda doing the exact opposite with pulling in some of the cooler papers from that same paper pad. And so you get two gorgeous, beautiful looks Same paper pad, just slightly different paper choices. You can see that she pulled in some of those greens from that paper pad. Turned out really lovely, and lots of these fun little tiny stems. Now, it does take a little time to put them together, but isn't it worth it? Look how gorgeous they turn out. I love how much they add to a little bouquet by having all those little flowers. And really, because you can just quick dot your adhesive down exactly on the little places where I gave you a little dot for that, adding those little flowers really doesn't take that long. It looks like more work than it really is. And Marianne doing the exact same thing, but with the amazing colors, which I would never have thought of, but I love how she always challenges my color thinking because it looks amazing. This is the On the Farm paper pad. So definitely don't feel like you have to be stuck in a box of floral papers because Marianne, she just never gets stuck in a box. She's amazing at thinking outside of it. So here she's layered 2 of our new foundations from 34, as well as used the new sentiment strip in 34. And I think so. Actually, that one might actually be from 33. It looks a little smaller. I'll have to measure that and see. I think that's the one from 33. But you can see these from 34, and what a great home base it makes for all of these beautiful little stems. She did not pull in one big bloom. These are all those little greenery and stems, and they look amazing. Isn't that stunning? Super talented, the whole team. Okay, let's go back over to my desk. That's all I have for samples, but I think that's plenty. For now, all kinds of great ways to see that you can use these for all different types of cards and in all different kinds of color schemes. Okay, so let's move my dies out of the way and let's do some creating. If we make it through, let's see, what time is it right now? We got probably enough time to at least get 2, if not 3 of the cards I have planned done. Let's start with flowering frames. I'm going to channel my inner Marianne. We're going to go with a nice bold color scheme. And I'll show you just how simple you can keep this in terms of, I'm not going to pull in the little tiny flower pieces for this. I'm going to go without those because I really did want to show just how quick and easy you can make creating with this particular set. I love our flowers. You know that. You've seen me use them so much, and I love how gorgeous they are, but I do know they take time, and sometimes you need a way to add beautiful flowers that doesn't take a ton of time. So I'll show you how that can come together in a flash, at least hopefully in a flash. So I'm just adding some adhesive onto the back of this background or backdrop die that I already cut out from earlier, just this fun little set of diagonals, just to give us a little bit of extra texture in our background. And as you can see, we're going to go with a bright and fun pink and black theme for this particular card. Okay, that down good. All right, this is actually Halloween paper, so, think out of the box with whatever it is that you need to find for your paper. But this one, I think, Happy Haunting? No, probably not. I think this one is from Costume Creepy Crew, maybe. Somebody else maybe will remember better than me. They start to run together for me after a while. Let's see. Let's add this just kind of to the left side of our card. And I'm going to center the top and bottom. And this is going to be kind of our home base for our shaker. I want to add that first, kind of set up what we're going to do here. But speaking of our shaker, let's go ahead and get that assembled now. With this just being a simple square, it really does come together really easy. I've used the included outline die, and if you're joining us, yes, the outline die is included. Don't go searching all over the website for it. It is included in the Flowering Frames kit. So let's stick that down there and pull out our center foam. And now, I don't normally do this, but because I'm really going classic black and white, and because I'm going to be using the black frames, actually, you know what? Might be too late. I should have thought of this sooner. Let me grab a separate one. Well, no, I haven't got time. I'm going to get this done. I'll just do it on the outside. But if I'd been not live and had a chance to think a little better, I would have taken my Sharpie and I would have done this on the inside as well as on the outside. But you can take the foam in our kits, and they really do take ink really well. And so if you're wanting to match any of the papers you're using ever, feel free to grab something like a Sharpie or an alcohol marker, and you can take that edge and you can make it really match just about anything with just a quick moment especially, you know, if it's something simple like a square. Some of our shapes are a little more complicated and take a little more time, but with a square, super easy, super fast. And you can see how this will come together and just kind of help punch up that very strong black and white and pink look that I'm going for here. And of course, you can leave it just plain white too, but for this particular one, kind of wanted to really up the ante here. Okay, so simple way to do that. And again, if I wasn't live and I was thinking, you know, not on my feet quite as much, I probably would have done the inside as well. It won't matter that much, but okay, let's go ahead and fill our shaker. I've already got a pre-mix of bright hot pink colors of various toppings. Some are old, some are kind of new, but I just kind of pulled together ones that I thought would be kind of a good fit for this particular hot pink shaker. Let me get a few more of those flowers in there. Just a little bit more. We're going to fill it pretty full. Because it's monochromatic and we're just doing pink on pink, I tend to fill those a little bit fuller than when I have lots of different colors. A few more of these little baby hearts in here. Aren't they cute? These were forever ago, but I still have a few in my stash. You can see little tiny crystal heart and a little square there too. That'll be our fill for this particular shaker. And I've got my little acetate here. Let me pull that liner up and we'll close up our shaker. A little trash can off to the side here, trying to be better at actually using it. Okay. Does anyone else do that with your desk? Do you like have little piles of little bits of trash all over your desk, even though you have a trash can real close by? I've even got my Queen and Company trash can right here, but sometimes I still end up making a pile right next to it instead of actually using it. Okay, I got pretty straight on that, but not perfect. I'm going to take my scissors and just trim off the little bit of excess that is overhanging on the side. Okay, there we go. All right, so when you are putting together these particular shakers, don't freak out that this piece is not going to cover all of your foam. It is designed that way on purpose to make it so that it's easier to hide behind your frame, and also just to help save a little bit on the expense of the dies so that the kit wouldn't be too expensive for you. So please, when you start cutting and you're going, wait, these inside pieces are not lining up with the foam, by design, don't worry about that. Meant to be. Right now, we're just gonna glue this down, and you'll see that the it is gonna line up with the inside of your foam, the inside part of your shaker. So if you're looking for a way to keep it lined up, don't worry, it is still easy to line it up. You know what? Let me add a little bits of glue to certain parts of this to help hold it still. I'm a messy gluer, but yet I'm also really kind of careful about cleaning up afterwards so that it doesn't show on the final product. But when I'm just gluing down, especially when I'm in a hurry, I'm a bit of a messy gluer. Anyone else a bit of a messy gluer? All right, so now we're going to just line that up with the inside of our foam shaker. Scoot that over just a touch to make sure it's perfectly lined up. I'm going to carefully press down. And then this is one of the ways that I clean up any glue that got where I didn't want. I do have a little bit right here, so let me just use that to clean that up real fast. And also right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, and now the foam piece, or sorry, the frame piece that will cover all the foam. And you can see, of course, that this time I chose to to cut from the flower line art and the frame from the exact same color. But most of the time, I use contrasting colors or papers or patterns. But for this particular bright pink look, I wanted just nothing but the black and the white. We're keeping it black this time. And you can tell that it's not going to matter too much that I didn't put the Sharpie on the inside. You're not going to be able to see it too well. But it will be kind of nice that when viewed from the side, this particular card is still going to have those black colors. See from the side. As if we'd cut from black foam. Okay. Isn't that pretty? Very stunning, right? It shakes really well. Let me squish this down just a little bit more. It's not quite straight. Or maybe I moved the bottom part, that's why. Let's make sure it stays under there like it's supposed to. There we go. Okay. Good enough. All right, so now from some of our basic border kits, or basic border sets, I think this is basic borders number 1. I've got this really fun and pretty dainty little black and white or black border. But it looks black and white because it's got the cutouts in it. And I chose it because it kind of matches the look of the line art here. It has that nice thin little look, so I thought it complemented this particular set really well and would look good on a card together. So let's get it glued down just along the edge of our card. This piece here, I think, is from one of our newer sets. I want to say, is it 32? Oh, I should have written it down. I'm afraid I didn't. I'm sorry, but from one of our more recent foundation die sets, in case you're wondering. Looks pretty good. Straighten. There we go. Straight enough. And then also from our basic border sets, this fun little like pink little rickrack in pink. We're going to use it just to pull in that pink color from our shaker just a little bit more. Okay. Now, actually, you know what? I probably should have done this before I put that one down. This is our sentiment. And I'm going to give that a little trim. And let's stick it underneath that before it dries. Let's put it about here. And we'll glue it down where that border piece is all the way stuck down. I want it to go just along the bottom here. Right about there. Okay. Now our little pink rickrack. Just over the seam of this black border. There we are. Down just a bit. Okay. Now we'll stick down our shaker and add a couple of little sparkly embellishments that I have in pink over here, or maybe we'll do the black and white ones. I'm going to vote. I've got black and clear, and then I've also got the pink. So vote in the comments, and I'll try to pull those up and check and see which one you vote in terms of which embellishment colors we should do. Should I just add just plain black and white and keep the pink to the shaker and the border? Or should we pull in a couple of little pink dots, or do we need both, pink and black? Tell me what you think in the comments about what type of bling we should use. All right, so now that is on there. So cute, so pretty. Okay. All right, looking at your comments. Let's see, pink, of course, says Beverly. Pink and black, pink, black, and white. Some plain pink. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna need the pops of pink. Yep, of course, Wendy. We always need more pink, right? All right, a little bit of each. How's that sound? Pink for sure, and then we'll see about adding the black or the white. All right. So let's do a little cluster kind of down here on the base of our card. There's some of the pink. Then we'll do another little cluster. Do kind of over here. And then maybe pull in some of the black. Let's see how it looks. What do you think? Yes? I think probably. Give it a try here. I'm going to pull in one little one down here. Yeah, I like it. Let's pull in one more kind of over here just to kind of look more like a little splattering of color. And maybe just one more. Let's see. Should I do a big one? Tie this together over here? Yep, maybe so. Okay. Maybe just a big one there. Maybe we'll leave the white off though. So just a little bit of extra bling for our card. But yeah, I think we'll call that good. If you really wanted to, you know, you could put little bling in the center of your flowers. But I kind of like this just classic on its own. Just letting that line art do all of the work of the visual on our shaker. And of course, our monochromatic little shaker mix behind it. Very fun, very easy. So, like I was saying, beautiful floral card, didn't take a ton of work cutting out and layering flowers. Not that that has to take a ton of work, but I figure for me, at least when I'm cutting out these flowers in our new Wildflower Foundations, that it is fun to go and take some time and cut a bunch of them all from different colors and then start mixing and matching. Okay, where's the garbage can? There it is. Told you, making piles, even though the garbage can's right in front of me. Okay, next card. How are we doing for time? I got 10 minutes. I can probably get at least one more, maybe two. This one, we're going to focus on our new Wildflower Foundations. And let's see how we do with getting another quick and easy card together. So I layered a bunch of the new flowers with some of the greenery, which you'll see in just a moment, after I get our base of our card together. This is another one of those backdrop dies. This one in those pretty fun swirls. Again, just for a little extra visual interest behind what is kind of a bit of a monochromatic background. I'm just doing white on white for our background for this card. Let me set these aside. Those are for later. These are some possible embellishments. Okay, so from Foundation Set 5, I cut 4 of these squares. And I'm gonna we pop them up on on foam tape. That might be fun. Let's do that real fast. So I'm going to put these out kind of in a grid pattern across our card. But I'm going to leave room in the middle because I've already pre-stamped my sentiment. Well, let me just quickly grab some of this foam tape and we will quickly pop those up. Because, you know, just got to have a little extra dimension. Helps that things get set off so pretty. Let's start with this. You, of course, can skip the extra dimension. The more that you're going to be mailing, the less you might want to, unless you're going to be putting it inside, say, a box or inside of a gift bag if you're hand delivering for a friend who lives nearby. But of course, you can also put it in a padded envelope. And if you do choose to do that, I recommend Pirate Ship as a good way to ship things. You don't have to have a commercial account or anything like that. But if you want a better rate on some of your shipping, that can help a little bit. Pirate Ship is just a website where you can put in what you're shipping and how much it weighs. You have a little kitchen scale, you can weigh it. And then it will give you all the different options for the different carriers. Like if you put it UPS or USPS or FedEx, it'll give you what time, what day it should arrive, as well as how much it will cost. It's a good way to mail things without it costing quite as much. They also have negotiated rates that are a little lower than other places, or at least lower than going right into the, say, the post office. Okay. And I do not work for them. I have no affiliation with them. Just find them convenient. Okay, a little foam tape behind our squares. This is just a simple and easy classic grid design that makes it really easy. Throw together a card if you're in a hurry, need a sympathy card or something like that. Flip that over. Oh, put it on the wrong side. That's all right. We're going to cover it with a flower anyways. I do want the edges to show stitch marks. Normally, at this desk, I sit down when I'm crafting, but I'm trying to look in my camera just to make sure I stay on camera as much as possible. I'm standing up, which means I'm a little further away from my project than I usually am. So sometimes being able to tell whether or not that piece of white cardstock is flipped over or not is a little tricky. Okay, almost there. Last square. And we'll get these stuck down. And then I'll show you what I have in mind with the new flowers, the Wildflower Foundations. And you'll see how pretty they make a card really, really fast. Okay, let me get it straight. I do like having this grid in the background to help me kind of keep things more or less straight and even. Sometimes standing up can help you with the straight part. Sometimes not. All right. Has anyone else ever been guilty of pulling apart a project because it wasn't, because when you pulled back to look at it, it was crooked? Or do you just leave it? Which camp are you? Are you more of a leave it, it's fine, or are you more of a pull it up and fix it? I'm kind of in between. If it's nearly perfect, and if it's not for work, I might leave it. If it's for work, I like to fix it. But if it's just for somebody that I know loves me anyways, then I will probably leave it. But if it's noticeable, I'll pull it apart. I've definitely pulled things apart. How about you? Pull it up and fix it, redo it, or it's good enough the way it is? Which kind of crafter are you? Add that to the comments. Okay. Now our base is all completed. We've got our sentiment on, and we're ready now for our wildflowers. And let's see. Remember how I had them potentially laid out here? About like that. So I've already put them together with foam tape. So I've got foam tape on the back. I've also got foam tape between each of the flower layers, and I've already glued the greenery on. So that made it really fast and easy, right? But that's cheating. So I cheated a little bit, but they're all set from cutting them all out and then just quickly throwing things together until they looked good. And oh, that makes a pretty flower. So no rhyme or reason to how they're put together. Just kind of thinking, oh, that's kind of pretty. Because when I did cut all of these flowers out of just those 4 colors of paper, it really made a whole lot of flowers. It was fun and easy to get a whole bunch done all at once. I do recommend that. You want to get a bunch of cards done. It works real well. Okay. And our last flower here. Put you about like that. All right, isn't that pretty? Okay, let's add just a little bit of bling here. I think maybe, okay, let's do a little green here by our sentiment. Got just some pearls in coordinating colors here. Just add a little extra something real fast. Okay. Oh, pretty good. Let's add a few of these across the card. Again, just kind of accenting. Let's see, what would look good? Maybe a small little green over here. Accenting in ways that help move the card. You move your eye across the card. Okay. Okay, and then maybe this pretty blue color might look good. Right up there. And how about a small purple? Still not sure about these. I actually might pull these up. Now that I'm getting these other ones on there, I'm not sure I actually like them on the sentiment strip. That is one thing I will pull up all the time is embellishments. And maybe this, let's see, we got white, we got purple. Let's just do another big purple one. Maybe one like this. Where to put you? That, no. Okay. And I don't know, maybe I'll go back and add some closer in here, or maybe we'll put in some of these are little jelly gems in purple and green. Maybe I'll add those later. Might even just sprinkle a few of these on the leaves, or some of these larger leaves, just to kind of add that little bit of sparkle across the card in places where they don't stand out quite as much. They're not really about pulling the eye across the card, but they are going to add just that little extra interest as you hold and move the card. Kind of see the sparkle that way. All right. Well, I think that one turned out pretty fast too. So pre-layer a bunch of flowers and you can pull together a whole bunch of cards pretty quick. All right, I'm almost out of time, so we're not going to have time to complete that final card, but let me show you what I was thinking. So I call this the leftover card because I took my leftovers and just kind of laid them out in what I thought would be a fun way to use them up. I was pretty much had used all of the extra greenery I had, and I just had a bunch of these flowers left from my little cutting experiment. So just take a look at what I was going to have us do here. I was just going to take those leftover flowers and just kind of zigzag them across the card, something kind of more like that. And then this is actually a leftover sentiment I cut ages ago that was sitting in my little pile of extra things to use someday, the stuff that you don't want to throw away, but you keep. And so this was going to be another quick and easy card just made out of the leftovers from all of my layering. And you can kind of get an idea of how that would have, come together. And maybe I'll finish it later tonight and post it in the Facebook group tomorrow. But those are my 3 ideas for you for quick ways to put together cards with these new sets. So, as always, I have to have a little bit of a sneak peek for you guys. The thank you for coming, and a thank you especially for being a customer. So thank you for sticking with me for this whole past hour. And as a thank you, here's a little sneak peek at something coming up. Hopefully next month, we have our on-the-go kit coming. And this is a look at just a few of the shapes in this fun new full shape shaker kit that's coming up. And I can't remember who it was who asked about emergency, vehicles or whatever. But if you're excited about some fun transportation options, we have not only a full kit coming, but because we couldn't cut it down to just a few shapes, we also have an add-on shape shaker that goes with it. So fun, cute stuff that works well for boys and guys, but almost anybody too, right? So there's some fun retirement options. There's some great birthday stuff. So thinking a little bit more along the guys in our life, but also just there's a lot of fun stuff in here. I can't wait to show you. So come check out what we release next month as well. And as always, have a wonderful night. Thanks for being with me. I'm going to go through and look at your comments. If Wendy or I missed questions that you asked that we weren't able to answer, please do tag us in the Facebook group and we'll try to get those questions answered. And I'll go back and read all your comments so we can. I love getting to know you all better. So thank you for taking the time to answer the questions I asked too. It's fun for me to go through and see what kind of crafters we have in our wonderful Queen and Company royalty members. Please do go check out the bundle if you're interested in that. Let me pull that up again. If you didn't hear it earlier, there is a really nice discount that Wendy is offering off of the combination of all of the kits, all 4 of the items offered tonight. The Wildflower Foundations, both the blooms and the stems and greenery, as well as Foundation Set 34, and of course the Flowering Frames Shape Shaker. So if you want to take $30 off of that and basically practically get either the foundation set almost for free or the flowering frames practically for free, go take $30 off with code SAVE30. Thanks again, everyone, for being here tonight. Hope you have a wonderful night, and I look forward to being with you again when we do our next release. Good night, everybody.